Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. This is patrolling. You've got 4 group stalkers, 2 maintaining presence inside, exiting, another entering, another exiting. This is maintenance of audible activity in directed light under the fake sun, 8:25 a.m. And this is stalking in the bathroom. It is Thursday, November 4th, 2021. 8XJB384, 8NAW 804, 7JQA 755. And this is MGRLTOR. This is Yvonne's at 81 West Foothill in Upland. They're all on camera in there at the Starbucks. I showed you that Starbucks employee. She was in directed light as AMR entered inside by an employee to get coffee in relevant position under the fake sun in directed light. It's sexual violence that I'm documenting inside of that same venue under the fake sun, which in the video I'm showing, and it's captured at 8:42 a.m., which is distinct from being where I'm showing you over Roy Cyclery, where they're engaging in hostility, because I'm documenting the fact that they are monitoring with the government that's flying over that same venue in a helicopter with a fake sun at that distinct location. It's 8:45 a.m. This is P.O.C. 8EIF 789.
Adapt to the effects of climate change, so-called law. Call clickranger.com or just stop
8A97299. 8TTH310, 7XNP032, 8PPZ247, 7UWH168.
Surfaces are sanitized for up to 24 hours. Touch after touch after touch.
So 6 hours from now?
7NZY334, 7VNY766, 3HHT353, 6CWH701. I can't really see that one. 8J, I can't see that one. 5FVE 485.
SoCal weather mostly sunny, high 68 for beaches, 84 inland and 55 below. Now through November 9th, stop by your neighborhood grocery outlet and take advantage of our extra 20% off wine sale. Every single bottle of wine is an extra 20% off. That's right, every single bottle.
All right, so you're paying attention to what is the creation of light activity. These are the demon possessed. That's a demonic environment, right? This impossible light conduct, that which is unnaturally occurring, it's demonic. And you have what is sexual violence practiced by the demon-possessed as they are monitoring with communication devices. That's also what I'm showing you in images. They're all maintaining presence in that environment intentionally and engaging in what is sexual violence, corporately monitoring someone in a private space. All right. That is nothing but a venue where that which is not the sun is over the venue, and that which is not sunlight, and no conduct of sunlight where your shadows appearing at a distance up to the ceiling of that building. All right. That is particularly aimed at that bathroom wall, at that hallway, to maintain light activity, to engage in that demented group activity in that private space where the demon possessed engaged in repeated patrolling. You have 7 of them. 2 remaining present as upon my entrance: 8AKJ012, 8RVS345, 8YCP011, 8V, I'm sorry, I can't see the one, 887KM handicap, City of Upland. BT36C56, the City of Upland is 1395496. 8WVM189. You have 2 that are already stalking in the path in that venue as I enter. All right, this is stalking everywhere that you're going, and you don't have any form in that impossible light activity. That's why you're paying attention to the environment. This is stalking conduct in a bathroom, okay? And this is maintenance of presence. You've got 2 demon-possessed stalkers in bathroom stalls surrounding, maintaining audible activity. They're doing the same thing in the men's restroom. They're doing this while they are entering and exiting that store, standing around at the Starbucks in the grocery store, stalking inventory. It's maintenance of presence in that deliberately placed environment, all right, of what is impossible light under that fake sun. This is all that is going into what is stalking somebody in a bathroom to keep them surrounded and engage in that ongoing pattern of conduct. And then you have what is the exit of one, the entrance of another, the maintenance of one in the stall, right, the entrance of another, and then the entrance of another and an entrance of another. All right, you have 7 total minions stalking in a bathroom, maintaining ongoing activity. 32E808. 8, and actually I'm speaking to the volume just so that you recognize the level of sexual violence that they are corporately engaging in, but you could have done the same thing with 1 minion just maintaining presence in there. All right, but I want to make sure I detail every act that they engage in. BE05V67, and that's sexual violence at Vaughn's, which is a third-party facilitating venue. 25289F2. 8GQX 173, I believe. All right, it's 8:49 a.m. And the state's fake sun goes from being over that venue at Vaughn's to go back south to remain in alignment with the vehicle back to where it was. Actually, it wasn't even at 7-Eleven yet. Yesterday, I was in front of Voice Cycler documenting those minions. All right, and then I advanced to the 7-Eleven, and that's where the state kept its fake sun as I was there. All right, your ongoing documentation of what is stalking with light while the minions are stalking together with that entity. And that's the sex offender, the entity that is engaging in that sexual violence in that private space. That's P.O.C. All right, ongoing demonic activity over here at the venue where they're driving through the parking lot of the fire department, the Carnegie Library, Upland Public Library, the state flashing light. This is impossible light activity. EZP301, 8EEK730, 8WEL699, going over to Molly Super, who was monitoring. That's why this light activity is ongoing. In the same way, 7HC4544, I believe. I can't really see that one that clearly. 50912L2. In the same way, this is why you have this light activity inside and outside of a bathroom, because everybody in relevant position is monitoring, and demons are maintaining corporate knowledge and maintaining that demonic environment inside of that private space. So this is the breaking down of this terrorism, right, by the demon possessed, who are stalking with an environment, stalking inside into the private space to engage in the ongoing and maintain the criminal elements of monitoring. And it is demonic activity, these criminal elements of monitoring, light, activity, and relevant positioning. I'm showing you images of what is group stalking in the bathroom. And that's all that you are doing when you are in directed light. You're stalking in the bathroom. You're stalking outside of the bathroom. You're stalking all around the bathroom. That's why the state's environment is there. All right. And that is a very demented and sexually perverted predatory entity. All right, that's what I'm documenting. That entity includes Vaughn's. I've already documented this before. You're talking about a very violent sex offender, monitoring the documentation and determined to continue to engage in that sexually predatory conduct. at its venue and in concert with the government and the people of the state. All right. And while, by the way, you need to know about that company, about the employees, everything about that, I'm revealing what is demon possession. So if that is interesting to anyone to know about the reality of these companies, contrary to how they depict themselves in the media, on television, the value that they assert that they maintain and impute to the public and to families. You need to know that. That's the same thing I'm telling you with the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. They're demon possessed. There's nothing familial about that. There's nothing beneficial to a family about that. Sexual violence in the private space and stalking and harassment is nothing. And terrorism, while they're engaging in criminal activity, that is the diametric opposition to anything intended for the family, for children, and they engage in that sexual violence with children. So this is contrary to what the demon possessed present outwardly. All right. So this is stripping down what are psychopaths and showing you the reality. All right. You are not the reality of who you are and what you are, including the people that are making up a company, a business, an organization, is not based on what they want to claim verbally. All right. Or how they want to appear physically. It is based on what they do. That is the definition of what they actually are about. Okay. And not the good stuff that they want you to see, the stuff that they don't want you to see. That's the truth. Okay. It is actually 9:30 a.m. ongoing monitoring. And this is terrorism as I'm sitting underneath the shaded area where the Carnegie Library is. This is the same library where I'm showing you the Upland police are engaging in federal stalking, showing you that they are psychopaths, engaging in that same conduct under the fake sun and in directed light, like they're carrying on just a normal conversation, oblivious to your present. That's the psychopath. Stalking. All right. Doing the same thing outside of a bathroom. That's exactly what the entity does. And they're sex offenders. Stalking. All right. It is P.O.C. All right. Ongoing demonic activity over here at the venue where they're driving through the parking lot of the fire department, the Carnegie Library, Upland Public Library, the state flashing light. This is impossible light activity. EZP 301, 8EEK 730, 8WEL 699, going over to Molly Super, who was monitoring. That's why this light activity is ongoing. In the same way, 7HC 4544, I believe. I can't really see that one that clearly. 50912L2. In the same way, this is why you have this light activity inside and outside of a bathroom, because everybody in relevant position is monitoring, and demons are maintaining corporate knowledge and maintaining that demonic environment inside of that private space. So this is the breaking down of this terrorism, all right, by the demon possessed, who are stalking with an environment, stalking inside into the private space to engage in the ongoing and maintain the criminal elements of monitoring. And it is demonic activity, these criminal elements of monitoring, light, activity, and relevant positioning. I'm showing you images of what is group stalking in the bathroom. And that's all that you are doing when you are in directed light. You're stalking in the bathroom. You're stalking outside of the bathroom. You're stalking all around the bathroom. That's why the state's environment is there. All right. And that is a very demented and sexually perverted, predatory entity. All right. That's what I'm documenting. That entity includes Vons. I've already documented this before. You're talking about a very violent sex offender, monitoring the documentation and determined to continue to engage in that sexually predatory conduct at its venue and in concert with the government and the people of the state. All right. And while, by the way, you need to know about that company, about the employees, everything about that, I'm revealing what is demon possession. So if that is interesting to anyone to know about the reality of these companies, contrary to how they depict themselves in the media, on television, the value that they assert that they maintain and impute to the public and to families. You need to know that. That's the same thing I'm telling you with the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. They're demon possessed. There's nothing familial about that. There's nothing beneficial to a family about that. Sexual violence in the private space and stalking and harassment is nothing. And terrorism, while they're engaging in criminal activity, that is the diametric opposition to anything intended for the family, for children, and they engage in that sexual violence with children. So this is contrary to what the demon-possessed present outwardly, all right? So this is stripping down what are psychopaths and showing you the reality, all right? You are not the reality of who you are and what you are, including the people that are making up a company, a business, an organization, is not based on what they want to claim verbally, all right? Or how they want to appear physically. It is based on what they do. That is the definition of what they actually are about, okay? And not the good stuff that they want you to see, the stuff that they don't want you to see. That's the truth, okay? It is actually 9:30 a.m. ongoing monitoring, and this is terrorism as I'm sitting underneath the shaded area where the Carnegie Library is. This is the same library where I'm showing you the Upland police are engaging in federal stalking, showing you that they are psychopaths, engaging in that same conduct under the fake sun and in directed light, like they're carrying on just a normal conversation, oblivious to your present. That's the psychopath. Stalking, all right? Doing the same thing outside of a bathroom. That's exactly what the entity does, and they're sex offenders. Stalking. All right, it is P.O.C. All right, I just took an image of what is, and I've already shown you thoroughly what the state is doing with light. I even showed you at that venue where that third party is loitering in relevant position with the dumpster truck, and they are creating amplified audible activity. And I showed you the rich, concentrated light of the demons filling the Upland Unified School District venue. That's called audible activity in relevant position. And who molests me with the state? This old white man that's on the cameras of the Bank of America right now, driving a Tacoma truck, absolutely impossible light. They are acting in concert. This is how demons operate. His license plate is 45751S1. All right, I'm being molested with directed light while he intentionally crosses path, while audible activity is being maintained by that dumpster truck. And this demon in a light blue Camry stops in the path as I walk over and get that license plate. I'm going to document her as well. She's stalking in the path as I am moving. All right, so this is license 6ZAM825. And this demon, understand they're all doing the same thing. It's equally impossible light activity. So you have demons that are maintaining presence, engaging in that ongoing demented conduct where light shoots all around while they drive by. 6UJK458. I've already showed you. I showed you this again yesterday. That light that's shooting all around, the state has the audacity to touch with that. That's why you're going to prosecute them as a sex offender. All right? Not only are you stalking, but then the state wants to touch all over you while they're engaging in this entirely demented, demonic activity. Okay? That's Satan that wants to touch all over your body with their weirdness. All right? Their weird light. They're totally psychopaths that have issues with touching. And so, let me be clear, that's a demon-possessed stalker that I documented. And they are demons acting as one. One that's maintaining audible activity in the venue of the Upland Unified School District using a dumpster truck. Okay, this is the same thing the city of Ontario was doing while I'm inside, for example, at Economy Inn. And I showed you in video. First of all, how did I know a dumpster truck was over there? Because it was amplified audible activity inside of my room. And then as I open the open the door, I'm showing you what's directed light being aimed inside of the room. All right. Impossible light activities inside of my room. That's a private space. I'm going to prosecute for being a sex offender in that regard as well. Okay. I've documented the ongoing P.O.C. everywhere I went. Impossible light activity inside of that hotel room while the state is amplifying the sound of a dumpster truck. Okay. Which was not actually emptying the trash. This is a soundtrack by that stalker that surrounds with an ongoing environment. This is the same thing the state does inside of the bathroom, all right? Creating that noise inside of my hotel room. And then I opened the door and I showed you the video, what was actually the truck that then drove forward to actually empty the dumpster truck. The dumpster. All right, but you're hearing what is crashing dumpsters as though they're already emptying it, and they weren't even in front of the dumpster yet. I documented this on video already at Economy Inn. All right, I'm just giving you an example of what is a means of audible activity because that's what you're focusing on. There is no forum under directed light and under the fake sun. You're seeing how the commercial means of the state's engagement in those elements are being satisfied. And this is demon possession by those who are just operating a commercial vehicle. Demon possession. Demons are acting together, all right, and outwardly appearing as though they're separate, going about different affairs, and they're demons. They're demon-possessed actors acting together to target one, All right, and you're seeing that correlating activity, the pattern of conduct underway by seemingly totally separate beings. You've got a dumpster truck over here, which is audible activity, while I'm being molested with that which is absolutely impossible light activity, having nothing to do with him driving in the parking lot, but yet I'm being molested with what is directed light, which you already know exists. The demons gave you a light show yesterday, okay, while they flew over in helicopter. That's exactly what I was molested with while he approaches, drives by intentionally at the same time that amplified audible activity is ongoing. That's the ongoing pattern of conduct. I'm just giving you another iteration of the same exact P.O.C. And these are demons monitoring together. These demons, they stalk in the bathroom. Yes, indeed. And you're going to prosecute for what is sexual violence inherent to that pattern of conduct. That obsessive stalking conduct follows you inside of the bathroom. Demonic activity following you inside of a bathroom where the government has no business practicing its demonic conduct. The government wants to practice Satanism. Okay, well, it doesn't have any business touching you and stalking you while it does it. That's what you're going to prosecute for. It is 9:40 a.m. That's P.O.C. All right, let me reveal to you about another demon-possessed actor, okay? This is their secret. It's not a secret anymore. Their condition is one of demon possession, and they are stalking with the government, engaging in what is terrorism while what is directed light is shooting by while they are intentionally crossing path, acting pursuant to that criminal pattern of conduct and terrorizing an American citizen, and also demonstrating demon possession. License 7B XK396. P.O.C. All right, and this is ongoing confirmation of that third party's demon possession. That's a female. While the demon-possessed actor, that is the state of California, that practices this ritualistic satanic system is now flying over by helicopter, okay? She indeed is a demon-possessed actor. That's amplified helicopter activity over the fake sun, creating massive light activity while they fly over. All right, the demon-possessed are at Molly Super monitoring. The demon-possessed are on the street of what is, this is First Avenue and D Street. And I'll get their license plates while they're stalking in the path under that massive creation of light activity. And this is the state's fake sun that's over the Carnegie Library. And as a helicopter flies by, I guess right under its fake sun, you have a massive shadow that moves across. I've documented this before, for example, at Ontario Town Square. And while the state is flying over the Ontario Town Square, speaking to what is flying underneath its fake sun, and understand that this is impossible light activity anyway, but this is what the state does, and this is the cartoon environment that these demons remain in. Let me document them for you. 8RS J708, I believe. Well, let me get these. License 50912L2. I think I read that one already. 8EEK730, 8PEK398, and she is monitoring, engaging in terrorism, loitering in relevant position with a child. All right, monitoring with the state, engaging in demonic activity, like you just heard. 8CBP538. That directed light, she's not separate. She's across the street at Molly Super monitoring, all right, with communication devices with a baby in tow in directed light. 8VQD331. License plate 8VLZ925. 8PCR115. All right, and these demons that are standing around on the curb look like they're having a good time. While impossible light activity covers the ground space while the state is stalking in a helicopter flying over, speaking directly to what is wrong with them, demon possession. License 8ULD988, and this is a paper plate on their Platinum Explorer. It says CG27803, 121921. And it's covered up. It's 9:57 a.m. And they are at the venue of what is Molly Super. All of them are monitoring. Those are demons sitting under a fake sun in directed light under the state that's flying over in helicopter. It's the same conduct at Roy Cyclery, okay? You're talking about a different type of venue where they're serving food as opposed to selling bikes in the same exact environment. The same exact stalking conduct by the state, a helicopter over the venue. All right, the demon possessed at that third-party facilitating venue monitoring. License 5YZR059, 6YRK419. It's P.O.C. It is 9:58 a.m. All right, demons patrolling into the parking lot. 7TDH0 Hold on. 7TDH000 CIARRAI. Those are demon-possessed actors who are stalking with simultaneity to my beginning to move. These are demons that are creeping around ready to cross path. Under the fake sun and in directed light appearing on the asphalt while they cross path, that is speaking to their demon possession, their simultaneity of presence with regard to my new movement, speaking to their demon possession, speaking to their stalking conduct, all right? 8CBP538 is loitering in relevant position in operation of a communication device in front of the parking lot of the Upland Public Library as well. That's P.O.C. All right, it is 2:06 p.m. I'm on surveillance camera exiting study room number 1, and I do walk to the restroom where the state is aiming its engineered light on the bathroom door. And as I showed you yesterday, this is impossible light activity. This is the state's light source, and this is engineered light. And that's also on documentation of what is a sexually violent threat. You do have what is stalking in the bathroom currently. It's 2:07 p.m. at Upland Public Library, P.O.C. All right, the same exact entity that I documented at what was the venue of Vaughn's at 81 West Foothill Boulevard. It is the exact same pattern of conduct as the state tunnels in audible activity with knowledge. This is the sex offender engaging in what is demonic activity. That demonic activity is accomplishing. These are the elements of monitoring, all right, and doing it in the private space. In the same way that I'm capturing the stalkers inside of the private space, maintaining activity, the state is tunneling in audible activity inside of the private space in engineered light for which there is no form. So I want to document that. That's ongoing sexual violence. And this is also the violent sex offender that's monitoring the documentation. That's ongoing at Upland Public Library. It's 2:13 p.m. The state creating light activity, opening up that wooden door, and you're having light that is swiping around on the inside and the outside of the bathroom. Yeah. That is the same tactic. I've shown you this essentially everywhere. That's the state's tactic with directed light. And this is an old wooden door. That's P.O.C. while the state is terrorizing with directed light while they are maintaining presence in the path and monitoring the documentation. And under the fake sun corporately, this is sexual violence at Upland Public Library and terrorism in the bathroom. Practicing demonic activity. That's what that is. It's P.O.C. It's 2:16 p.m. 7JJL448, monitoring with the Upland Police Department, who's crossing path in the parking lot in peculiarized light. 8XQW754. And 227UD, that's a handicap plate. 7ZZB781. 7LJD364. Let's see. 65273M2. 6LUA258. It is 5:44 p.m. I already exited the state facilitating venue of the Upland Public Library. And so while the entity engages in the pattern of conduct, not only is sexual violence and terrorism ongoing, the pattern of conduct is harassment on a whole other scale. This is the government that is ceaselessly harassing you. And so I want to document what the methods employed. Ongoing noise. This is what demons do, first of all, in case you didn't know that. That's what demonic activity is about. And you can just picture that. You're talking about demented creatures in the spirit. And they literally engage in conduct akin to that. They just stalk with ongoing noise pursuant to an ongoing focus on you. It's absolutely demonic, and it is demented when you are understanding what a human being is engaging in. And the mindset, the mind behind that, okay? That's what you need to understand. And that's what you're going to prosecute. Because that's terrorism while a whole bunch of freaks like that follow you around with the government. So anyway, you have what is inside of this particular venue where I've documented what is the state acting via the I'm sorry, not the Upland Police, but it did include the Upland Police, the Upland Public Library. Were they engaged in harassment? As I'm sitting in study room number 2, I believe I documented that day, and you have what is harassment while they are inside of the study rooms. The state is amplifying audible activity, engaging and telling me to stop making a disturbance when I am not making a disturbance. 8RML 455. I am literally, in fact, not even humming as loud as I'm speaking right now. I'm humming to myself inside of the study room, which, let me be clear, you will not hear in reality, okay? Where government's not monitoring you, where you're not surrounded by demons, all right? In reality, you're not going to hear that through the study room walls, all right? But you're talking about a demonic environment and a pattern of conduct underway. And as they engaged in that for purposes of harassing, it's also an admission, okay? Because you're admitting the fact that that's amplification because you can't naturally hear that. So in other words, let me get 48301C3. You have what is the engaging in harassment, and I'm wearing headphones. I'm listening at a pretty high volume in order to pay attention to my podcast, which is, if you've been paying attention, my documentation, I am continuing from January 14th, 2021 and going through day by day, organizing that, putting it in sequence and uploading it with the updated information and filtering that onto my website as well. So those who are listening to my podcast, you need to see the totality of the evidence, which includes the video documentation on my website. YouTube does not contain my podcast. My website contains both my podcast and the video documentation, and that's what I'm combining, and that's what I am placing in context as far as where I am as the state is stalking from place to place, because that's what I'm documenting. The government is stalking as I go from venue to venue, and that's what that's documentation of, and I am continuing with that. So while I'm listening to that, they are making extraordinarily loud noise, so loud that it's interfering with the headphones that I'm wearing. All right, so, and this is, understand, it's entire, you're being monitored. Okay, so let me just break this down. Everything that is occurring in the environment where the government is stalking you, the environment is deliberately maintained for that ongoing criminal purpose. These are demons who are maintaining ongoing close awareness, for a second of all. But let's just break down what they are engaging in. You're talking about the maintenance of an ongoing environment. Not only are they aware of what you're listening to with regard to the evidence, as I'm putting it on my podcast, you're talking about also what is the expression of hostility, all right? This is the nature of demonic conduct. It's not only a pattern of conduct of federal stalking amongst the demon-possessed. These are demons who are simultaneously communicating hostility, all right, while they are engaging in that demented pattern, all right? That is achieving what is federal stalking with communication devices. So anyway, I just want to publish the fact that Upland engaging in the very disturbance that they falsely accuse me of while I'm sitting inside of an enclosed space, which is a study room where I'm humming to myself, not even humming as loud as I'm speaking now, to be clear, that so that you can hear me. And this is the ongoing conduct that these demons engage in day in and day out, loud noise making. All right. And I pointed that out when they were engaging in what is harassment. And I also told them that I'm going to prosecute them. And that's why I recorded it, because it's all evidence. And I told them on that day, I'm going to prosecute you. And I was not playing. And this is the very hypocrisy. And it's absolutely absurd. But you're dealing with demons, and that's the conduct of demons. I want to be clear. Okay. You're dealing with what is the clinical term for the demon-possessed? Psychopaths, all right? Very hostile, too, to the truth being spoken about them as they are listening to it, syllable by syllable, all right? And this is what's ongoing while I'm sitting at desktop computer number 5. This is just loud, just ridiculously, substantially loud. You're in a library. It's not only, it's uncharacteristic because of that as well, but I would just want to bring up the fact where they specifically engaged in harassing me, making up an allegation because you're not ordinarily, I'm dealing with demons though. In reality, you're not even going to hear me humming to myself inside of a closed room. All right. But that's what they engaged in, and that's also going to be used for purposes of an admission. All right, that's amplified audible activity. Yeah, they were telling the truth. They really could hear, but it's not because you naturally can hear that. So anyway, it is also the state sounding sirens inside of the venue while I'm sitting at the computer as I engage in using my phone, which was to make a phone call the moment I engage in a new activity. In other words, operation of my communication device, siren sounding inside of the library. All right, and as you pay attention, I did not address it, but everything that the state does in the background, this is ongoing evidence. As I'm even explaining things and giving context and so that you understand demonic activity. You heard that loud train activity. You are not going to hear the Metrolink train inside of the library, and the volume that you heard that train, which is supposedly Metrolink, you're not going to hear that at that volume either, okay? That's audible activity, and that is also while the state is listening to me prepare to break down what was the conduct that I experienced inside of the library. They engage in that. But while they engage in that, sounding a loud train, guess what? That's ongoing evidence of federal stalking and terrorism. You cannot hear the Metrolink train at that loud of a volume. Recall my video documentation. I'm sitting in the car in front of the Metrolink train in Upland. You don't hear anything, okay? And that is the pattern of conduct underway. This is common sense though, okay? The trains are not such that they're disturbing everywhere. You're hearing them in everybody's house where you live. You're hearing them inside of the grocery stores. You're hearing them everywhere you go. That's not the reality. This is demonic. It's the maintenance of an environment. And just pay attention to that, because that's the P.O.C. attributed to Metrolink, who's monitoring with the same fire department that I was citing in the P.O.C. as I exited the venue. It is currently 5:51 p.m. P.O.C. Let me get this. 7NQR805 8V639 handicap 7HZH 416 01445F1 7TFU418 21312L1 8XYE826 31818F3. That's Amazon Prime. Using their hazard lights as they're crossing lanes in the street to get in relevant position, all right? And they are, then they turn off their hazards and turn on their turn signal. They are parked on the sidewalk. This is maintenance of peculiarized light as I'm describing what they're doing. This is the same demon-possessed stalker driving that commercial, heavily documented, and I just captured images of the state stalking in a commercial-sized plane while I'm still in the city of Upland, flying directly over Euclid Avenue, over the same third parties that I just documented on my podcast moments earlier. They are indeed monitoring. That is the state acting, engaging in that terrorism, flying over in a commercial plane, and the state acted via Amazon Prime, maintaining peculiarized light. 8YDX537, 8NXL907. It's P.O.C. It's 5:53 p.m. Yeah, 8PES398 monitoring with American Medical Response, who crossed path right now at G Street and stopped sounding sirens the moment that they crossed my path. I'm in the plaza of the Rite Aid on G Street, at where the Pizza Hut is on the opposite side at Euclid and G Street. They're all monitoring. Okay, AMR passes with sirens and lights, and the sirens. The reason why you don't hear them, because as I'm reading that license plate, as they pass me by, they stop sounding the sirens. 8LRE909. Oh no, hold on. Don't try to get off. Let me get this license. Because they're all in the parking lot monitoring. 6L20078. 8XDU195. 8FGF238. 6PBG524. 8WBZ986. 8LNW139. 7LDU893. 8XSK563. 8AEE711. And this is 42568V2, 8AEE711, 8LRE909, and 6VYC976. And again, American Medical Response engaging in criminal facilitation of that terrorism using an emergency vehicle for that criminal purpose. 7TGT345, 8EXK874, 8NQW386. It is currently 6:03 p.m. Again, this is Ontario, the Rite Aid at West G Street, P.O.C. All right, it is 7:08 p.m. and I am inside of the vehicle at 630 North Fern Avenue in Ontario, and the state is molesting with directed light, and this is substantial directed light. Like, as my eyes are closed, I'm seeing what is the bright white light while the state is aiming it inside of the car and touching me with its directed light. And so I just want to document that ongoing terrorism, and that is also molestation with the directed light, absolutely unnaturally occurring. You've seen the demons in action, and that's what the state is molesting with. 7:09 p.m. All right, I am at third-party facilitating venue Vaughn's at 81 West Foothill in Upland, where the state's fake sun is over the venue. And by over, I mean it is hunched in front of the entrance of the Vons. Then you have what is the state's directed light. Those are two different methods of stalking with light, by the way. And you have also what is the flashing of directed light, molestation of directed light, patrolling of the people that say this is the demon possessed that are entering inside of the bathroom, maintaining presence, engaging in federal stalking inside of the bathroom, while the state is aiming its directed light. What I'm showing you are psychopaths in the video as well. You have them stopping in the hallway to talk about inventory while the state is aiming directed light on the hallway. That's the conduct of psychopaths, having the absence of any form, but you see how demons are conducting their act like they're having a conversation about their work or whatever, which is legally referred to as what is facilitation, while they are stalking in relevant position outside of the private space. This is while the directed light is present, and while they are also stalking while I'm operating my communication device, and this is the reality of what they're doing. While you're looking at what is not sunlight and not ever going to naturally occur, the state is necessarily aiming this light and flashing this directed light while they are stalking in the bathroom. And that's exactly what I documented again. And this is, it's 8:39 a.m. and I'm on the surveillance cameras inside of the Vons. And that is the pattern of conduct underway inside of the private space. All right, I do want to document, again, it's an entity, but I want to specifically document you have what are Vons employees patrolling inside of the bathroom in concert with the third-party patrons, group stalkers, that are entering inside of the venue to stalk inside of the bathroom. And then you'll have, in the video that I'm capturing, you have the African-American female. She's a security guard. Just like in video, when she's walking through the hallway, she has double shadows on the ground. And also the shadows, that shadow activity, light activity is appearing on the ceiling as I'm showing you while she's walking in directed light. Understand this is intentional. She's crossing path again in that directed light while I'm capturing that video today. That's monitoring conduct, and it's also demonic activity while they are stalking in a bathroom and around the private space with knowledge that you're operating communication. They're monitoring on video. And this is what they're doing while you're in the bathroom. They're stalking, engaging in that demonic activity inside of that private space at Vons. I just want to make sure I document that. And those are Vons employees standing around creating audible activity while they're talking about inventory. Those are demons with no form. All right, P.O.C. 79589E1 4800H handicap. All right, and as I captured on video, as I exit the venue, you have what is meeting in the path, the demons that are driving at the entrance, getting into a parking spot. All right, this is what the people do in order to stalk with light. And directed light is all over the ground while they are engaging in that while they're under the fake sun, all right, at the entrance of the Vons. Let's see, 7CIE162, 8LFB945. You have what is the same demonic activity inside of a grocery store, 7FBK293. That same directed light that I'm showing you is occurring while they're driving by, which has nothing to do with a car driving by. All right, this is demonic activity, and they're carrying that inside of a private space, stalking in bathroom stalls inside of that private space inside of Vons, which is nothing but a venue. 6RRH010, AH455. I can't see the rest of that license. 7JBW204, 6VOV119, 4AHE847, 76073W2, 7LZN748, 8VSY234, 6NXL162.
I'm gonna have to drop you off. You're gonna have to cross the street.
Your future.
I can't be late.
These things are none of our business. Your symptoms, your work from home sweatpants, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m. That's really none of our business. Because your life is private, and unlike other tech companies. Oh, who's that from?
You've gotta be
7ERE166.
across the street.
You can earn a $5 bonus card for
5F20917 or 5B20917. I can't really see that play. Let's see. It is 8:49 a.m. 7RKN636 20757M2, and that is 2D20917 8TOF420. 7LVS 956. You can let me out right here.
First sounds of jingle bells that mark the official start of the holidays. It's not even the first signs of snow. The holidays start when you save it. That's why our Black Friday save.
8CMY334.
Whether you're a holiday plan.
6YAF123. All right, at Uptown and Country. Because the third party is in such a rush to get to work, but understand she's still monitoring in the private space along with all the rest of them, engaging in the same demonic activity. Light all over the Marshalls and Big 5 sign while she's exiting. Same with 6161382. P.O.C, that's directed light. All right, the same directed light I'm showing you all over, that's what's on the signs, and she's monitoring me while she's rushing off to work, all right? It is ongoing audible activity while you're listening to that. So, and the state's fake sun is over the venue, like I said, of Vaughn's. The state's directed light is inside of Vaughn's. That's ongoing activity creation and stalking while the state is following with an environment inside of the bathroom, and that is the predator and the sex offender. Engaging in that conduct, following with that environment, which is deliberately created at that environment. 8VWL589 is monitoring with Omnitrans, directed light on the sign while they're driving by it. The fake sun is above it. So this is that which is totally detached and in no way connected. Driving by with this light that is occurring. This is demonic activity. That's a demon-possessed stalker. That's a white female she's demon-possessed. Let me tell you her condition. 8VWL589. The demon-possessed stalker behind her is 7ZGT827. These are women, and they're in vehicles. I'm just identifying them while they're engaging in demonic activity, and they're acting with the heavily documented demon-possessed actors of Omnitrans driving the bus in relevant position where that ongoing activity is being created. It is currently 8:52 a.m. The state's fake sun is over Uptown and Country, where I've shown you at all times, including at 10 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon, where the state is following with its fake sun over me over the same parking lot. And let me be clear, while I'm in the private space at Vaughn's, they're monitoring as well. All right, so, and that goes without saying, that's speaking to criminal monitoring. You're talking about the sex offender and how they are engaging in what is predatory and sexually motivated conduct as that which they are practicing, which is demonic activity upon what is federal stalking. All right, and then doing that inside of a private space. And in directed light and under a fake sun, you're not doing anything but stalking. That environment is present for you to maintain presence. 8LAB259. All right. And you have what is stalking inside of the private space, which is the bathroom, while they are stalking someone in a stall, in the same way that you see the United States Postal Service, FedEx, etc., stalking at gas stalls, all right, under the fake sun. That's why I take pictures of it, because you look at what they're doing, that's the reality of what they're doing. They're stalking. And it's absolutely pathetic, and it's absolutely disgusting as I'm taking images of what is stalking in a bathroom stall, all right? And that's exactly what they're doing under a fake sun and in directed light, standing around talking about inventory. Oh, well, you know, we're out of this, and I could have sworn, you know, I told the manager, and they're doing it while the state is flashing directed light. Those are demons. That's the demon-possessed. Those are the demon-possessed that are psychopaths and they're violent sex offenders with knowledge of what you're documenting, and you're going to prosecute and specifically prosecute the name Vaughn's that is directly associated with sexual violence of an American citizen. All right, that's a sex offender. The legal concept of a company. All right, and it is representing the state while the state's environment is present. All right, and that is every third party walking around, intentionally walking around in that directed light with double shadows at the heights of the ceilings while they are intentionally crossing path, creating noise with shopping carts, driving by in the state's directed light while light activity is all around on the asphalt, on the curbs, and on the surfaces around, including on my person. All right, that's all intentional conduct in that environment, and it's demonic activity. All right, so it is 8:54 a.m. All right, license 8JUV254. Seven VCW 918. XPZ042. 7PWV467, I believe. 7JHB052, NANA 75, 7AYA 751, 5UYN 595, 7VBD 156, 5TGJ 181, 8TQM 964, 7JDX 679, 11955Y2. Understand they're all hiding in the bathroom stall, stalking together, engaging in that sexual violence. Upland 1186041, Unified Upland, Unified School District, Upland Unified School District. 6CHC 576. 8HRD 838. I already read that demon's license plate, and that is amplified audible activity. 6CHC 576, 7JYZ 578, 48908H2, 3682D handicap, FRANKP, 7ZLD 176, 19932E2, 7EQM 253, 7XEV 950, 8KTS 209, 16966B2. All right, and these demons are doing the same thing that was occurring inside of the Vons, which is directed light all over the road while they are driving by and in the shade. All right, these are demons. This is the demon possessed, including Dewey Pest Control, 24451Y1. Dewey Pest Control needs to look into not hiring the demon possessed because their company is now exposed as being prosecuted as a sex offender, a legal concept to be appreciated, and engaging in what is terrorism while their employees are practicing what is federal stalking and demonic activity, which is terrorism. 74682Y2 on behalf of the government. 8PMR 257, XPO Logistics. I'll get that license plate in a second. 7A 97955, 6RRH 010, 8LAS 828, 8CWN 203, 8URN 729, BNGA 859, 8PN, 8PRN. I can't really see that one. Can't see that too well. BK30 526, I believe. 8SQN014, 7EBK 293, 8GPR761, 8JGD 294, 7MQM667, 7EZU359, 7DQA 273. Let's see. I'm sorry, I read that. 8PMR 257, 7DUG 680. And this is QPO Logistics 2493927, US.241829, molesting with directed light. All right, 57811F2, 8MXF026, 7552, I can't really see that one. 6KJT407, 8AMN087, 6UMB785, 80170N1. All right, and I've shown you what these demons engage in with the state, and it is purely demonic activity, and it is demonic activity which you are able to ratify as to the means of what is touching by stalkers who are demon possessed and engaging in federal stalking. 8GBH528, and that's exactly what they're doing while directed light is streaming backwards from their cars, molesting. 8YME876, and that is demonic activity. 7PU882, 8RNN849. And I've shown you this in video. That's exactly what they're doing. And this is also hostility communicated by the demon possessed who know you're documenting, including the government. That's terrorism, okay? 73935B3. And this is Holiday Rock Co. Incorporation. Holiday Rock Company Incorporated of Upland, California, California 18748. They're also crossing the street on the opposite side. All right, they're engaged in the same molestation and terrorism and stalking in a bathroom stall. N506KO, that's the entity engaging in that, including that company. 4RKM559, 8WNU398, 8JYR980, 80579U1, Floor Decor Incorporated. 87W70. That's paper. 6YDZ481. 6F KV740. 7NVK795. 6TJW440. 7XOW221. 7MBT581. 8VMU050. 6LAW816. 7FBJ088. OIFANG. 97821H2. 8DIW898. 6CWT604. BR15F04 paper. FNDBGET 6TZT581. 7MNZ300. 8J, I can't really see that one. It is 9:02 a.m. 07653K2. 8620. Hold on, this is the commercial vehicle. 86820P2. And that is J. I'll get that company name in a minute. 8EAH482. The company name of that vehicle is, yeah, that's what I thought. It says Frontier, but I don't know that that's Frontier Communications. Oh yeah, that's Frontier Communications. 3005OJ2. Crossing path again. License 6DBV603. All right, this is Smith Landscape. License C-27789335. And that license plate is 07653K2. That's a commercial vehicle. It is 9:03 a.m. and these are demons that are patrolling in the environment. And the state's engineered light and the fake sun is directly over the intersection. All right. This is nowhere near being over and coexisting with remaining over the precise 711 204 North Euclid Avenue or remaining in Ontario at 630 North Fern. 7PQB 684. 7RJD 789. Remaining anywhere in Ontario. It's clearly over the intersection here in Upland. 7PMJ 468. 8VHS 668. All right, but it's not just that. You're talking about these demons that are crossing path intentionally and directed light streaming backwards from their cars. The light comes toward me. That's the focus of the demons while they are crossing path in that environment. That's what the demons are doing. 8UGL 949, 8UON 081, 7WFL 330, 7VIB 548, 8MZS 529, 8NUS 362, 8AJE 200, 8TXH 427. 8HYB 183, 8MUC 549. Operation of the communication devices in directed light and engineered light. All right, federal stalking. 8A39U24. Frontier Communications crossing path again, and also their facilitating venue is right down the street. It's where I formerly used to live, where the fake sun was maintained over that street. All right, they're monitoring crossing path and they're monitoring at the facilitating venue right down the block. It is 9:05 a.m. Upland Police, license 156-1123, vehicle 221. 8PAW459, 8CCT771. All right, license 6YPG707. And it is 9:05 a.m. Alrighty, license I can't really see that one. It is 9:05. I remain at Foothill and Euclid Avenue. This is 8GVP327, 7EZS202, 6MNJ579, 7250. I can't really see the rest of it. 7LGV. I can't see that one either. Let's see. All right, I'm showing you what's a demon-possessed actor. Operation of his communication device. After I document taking an image of him, he knows exactly what I'm doing, and he's looking on his phone, aware of what I just captured, which was a picture of him. What he did is, this is demonic activity. He's on a bike, he's under the fake sun, and he's riding in circles behind me, and then he stops because he's going to go right back down the street. He came around to create activity around me. 7WRP 806. What they do in this engineered light is they move around, pace around. This is what the state does in helicopter, in circles. This is what they do in their cars, pacing back and forth and moving. This is a psychopath, and this is a kid. This is a demon-possessed one on a bike, riding around in a circle. I did take an image of that. Demon possession has nothing to do with your age. And 325 West G Street, using her minion child, her demon-possessed child, to monitor last night as well. 6T58696. 7ZAJ 271, 8WET 682. 8SJE 261. Yeah, 325 West G Street. That third party with the license plate 6ROX. That's how it begins. 607 3W2. That's another license plate. Her license plate that begins with 6ROX. I've read it. And you saw her monitoring again with a kid while my shadow was appearing across the street in blue tinted directed light upright on the wall of her venue while she was intentionally in the path stalking with the state that is routinely stalking by helicopter and airplane over that street where I am. Last night, using her minion child, her demon-possessed child, who was repeatedly darting back and forth, that is crossing path while she was creating light activity, and the state was aiming directed light. That's a demon-possessed child. 56775A3, 6C93103, 4LTS225, 8F37673, 8NVZ856, 7EJC846, 6LMG966, 7EXW424, 7XYL543, 8SWK747, 40485S1. Let me see. 8HGM. I can't see the rest of it. 4PF. I can't see that one. It was too SD. 7HZF073, JAABS. 3HJG833. 81109H1, 1463245, C743J1, 8TBP181. And as she is, and I'm talking about 325 West G Street, as she is creating light activity, they had already gone in as I am using my phone. That's why they're doing that. So they come back outside, or feigning like they went in, because they had already closed car doors, walked toward their venue, and then walked back out. I'm in operation of my communication device. And then this little minion, he's darting back and forth at the same time that I'm engaging in this operation on my phone, which I'm on the internet and I am looking at different sites. And as I'm engaging in as I change activity, he's darting back and forth. That's stalking with activity and crossing path and creating light activity as the state is creating directed light while she is in concert acting with the state. Remember, their headlights are not their headlights alone, it's directed light. That's what I showed you while a predator is aiming headlights in anticipation of me walking by. That's a predator waiting to touch. While the state was flying over by helicopter at Stater Brothers. All right, this is what they're doing all over the place. And this is what they were doing last night while she was monitoring. Understand that's going toward prosecution and losing your minion child. While they include, those are enhanced repercussions as federal stalking is underway by the demon-possessed, including minors inside of their criminal activity, which is sexually violent, acting in concert with minors. This is what the government is doing, acting in concert with the people of the state, and all the ways in which they do that. Those are going to be enhancements with regard to that prosecution. And that's why I document it. 8XRV793. 6XCB307, and I know that venue address is 325 West G Street. She's a sex offender, all right? She's a terrorist, using her address as a venue. That's exactly why directed light is on it. The fake moon is over it. The fake sun is over it. The state is flying in circles over it while I'm in the car right beside it, all right? She's monitoring. She's a terrorist and she's a sex offender, and then she's using the demon possession of her child to engage in that criminal conduct, which is federal stalking, and terrorism. They're engaging in terrorism together. 7DEM027. And she's monitored. 7DEM027 is monitoring with minors in the car. They are under the fake sun at the intersection, engaging in an ongoing molestation. All right, and let me be clear, this same entity is the same one. I'm documenting more names because they're all stalking in the bathroom stall together, including Upland Police 156-1123-221, vehicle 221 crossing path again, 8HTX 341. All right, 8XIK 598. And let me be clear, 499 6M1, that's Holiday, again, crossing path, 7NWS 182. I am identifying the demon possessed, including in the Upland Police who was repeatedly crossing path. That I've made that clear. I want to be clear. I'm not mincing words. These are the demon possessed. They're in that demonic environment. They are engaging in demonic activity on a major basis as I stand at the intersection, and I'm identifying the demon possessed, including Upland Police. All right? That's exactly what they're doing. License 8T27518, 7XQU 729, and the demon possessed will stalk you in the bathroom and stalk you with that demonic and unnatural light. 8KO7796. And that's exactly what Upland Police are being documented as. 6575262, I believe. I can't really see it that clearly though. 8KYX 625. It's 9:12 a.m. That's audible activity, third-party facilitating venue, Chase Bank. 47269. I can't really see that one though. Alrighty, you do have the sex offender flying. Alrighty, showing you video of what is a psychopath hovering over the parking lot as I showed you, and with knowledge of every word that I'm saying and what I'm doing on my phone, immediately makes a U-turn to fly behind the grocery store. The state is doing this on a constant basis, and then you see the minions, 7MUP290, that are swarming all around with directed light all over the ground. This is demonic activity. This is terrorism. While demonic activity that I'm documenting is underway, they are engaging in federal stalking, all right? And you have what is federal stalking in the bathroom. That's what I'm honing in on. They're sex offenders, and that's exactly what I'm going to prosecute them as. That's a very violent sexual offense, a perpetual one never contemplated by federal legislation, and the entirety of the entity, commercial actors, government actors together, because they represent one entity that is maintaining presence on behalf of that government, that's monitoring while they're stalking in bathroom stalls, and just like you saw, flying over in plane and helicopter, maintaining ongoing federal stalking conduct inside of that private space while the state's environment is intentionally there. That's not the sun, as I've shown you and I've already established. That's clearly not even sunlight, and let alone if that was the sun, which it's not. But even if that was, understand that's clearly directed light that is never going to appear. It's not. You're not going to have flashing light. You're going to have moving shadows. You're not going to have double shadows. That's demonic activity. 7VIK382 in what is directed light. It's demonic conduct while the state's engineered light, speaking to demon possession, is present. This is terrorism and stalking in a bathroom. BE46B46 and molestation. 4VZE604. 7WTC 786. And this is Vaughn's. Nothing about nothing familial, nothing about a family market at all, okay? 8DJB816. 8KNU348, 8AMP515. Upland Police engaging in repeated crossing path, 7EHD368, which is, let me see, 8RLX178, which is intended as a threat. While federal stalking is underway, the demons are hostile to my documenting them. Let me be clear. That's what that is about. You are monitoring. The pattern of conduct is underway. 8WEB901, but police visibly being present is a communication of a threat. 7FDA679, 6GPL798, 8JBR515. Pepsi is present monitoring with Upland Police. License 9GO3869. US.692947. License and molesting with directed light, just like I showed you on video. License plate 7GTA290. C 6WFM181. 8LO1710, 6UEX580, 7STK285, 6VOV119, LA90032. 5HAK616, 8LPJ748, 7JBW204, 8FUS237, 8WMG256, 4VQP997, 7U15741, excuse me. 7JOZ397 and 5DYD570, 7LVS956, 7VNY766. Upland Police crossing path again, just patrolling in the parking lot, 7D96096, 8ETE077. And by just patrolling, I mean stalking, pacing back and forth, okay? And that's what I mean by just that. That's no small thing. That's a demon in a police vehicle that is stalking and engaging in demonic activity. 8TWD388, 8TGM009, 7XRD486, pacing in directed light. That's the demonic conduct. They're psychopaths. The demon-possessed engage in that conduct in their light. And I say their light because it's a unnatural light. This is engineered light. And I have shown in video after video where the demon-possessed engage in, I want to say they act a fool when they get in the light. It's like they want to run around in circles. They pace in their directed light. They engage in this ritualistic conduct in that light, which is activity creation. This is how you're breaking down what is federal stalking. This is the pattern. They are engaging in monitoring of communication devices, and it occurs while ongoing manipulation of my communication device results with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my communication device. This is monitoring. This is federal stalking, but it's demonic activity. Understand that. And that is a demon in an Upland Police vehicle who is pacing in directed light. This is both terrorism because that is conduct intended to intimidate, to strike fear while federal stalking is underway. It is terrorism because you have what is the demon possession, that demonstration of demon possession by a police officer, okay, who is engaging in criminal conduct. All right. That is terrorism both ways. I want to be clear on that. 7NZY334, 8HTX314, 6LMG825. All right, and group stalking via the drive-through of the Chase Bank, which is no form. The elements remain in there under the fake sun. Group stalking at a gas stall, group stalking in bathroom stalls, group stalking at the bank in a drive-through, no form. 8CAC183. There is nothing that you're doing that is superseding the fact that you're surrounded by that which is not naturally occurring, which is you're not under the sun and you are not in sunlight. All right, you are not engaging in ordinary conduct where this this activity that I'm documenting all around you is ongoing. You're a psychopath. That's what I'm revealing. I'm revealing the demon possessed who are engaging in criminal conduct. License 5HJY604. It's 9:22 a.m. NFH7482, that's Texas. ATQL003. 02028J3, 7HCL886, 7KKPO20, 5GMP553, 7NSF376, 8JYX007, I'm sorry, 077, 97003H2, 8WHH368, 6WMD313, 8TTH310, 7EXH103, 7KFZ927, 7LON498, excuse me. 8UTM997, 7LCM684, 8UWL961, 8CKV252, 7EZV277, 40168F1, 5GIX292, very heavily dosed with demon possession, sitting in his car with the windows up. This is an old Asian male under the fake sun, maintaining presence at the end of the parking lot. 8ACJ454. He's got a good dose of Satan on him. The same thing with this one, sitting in the passenger side of the vehicle. They're stalking in the path. They're maintaining presence in the path. In the same way as I walk through the library, as I walk through any venue, they maintain presence. Sitting in the car, 8RYD257. (40168F1). 4AMS394. 7TOP124. I think I might have read this one. 7LCM684. 6WMD 313. Oh, I read that one already. 4NWW 786 and 7K 65837. 8LEG 221. Seven ZGX 353. 7XDX 312. 8PLH 879. 8JYF 368, 7UQM 007, 6JJZ 340, 4WOK 326, 4YEK 214, 7WEL 355, 81200Z1 JCCX with a heart, 7VNZ 926, 8WDJ 931, 8JVG 783, 8HXC 6477, KJW 519. 7HGT 420, 6ZNG 370, 6HJZ 686, 5LZX 755, 8WHH 368, maintaining presence at the back of the parking lot, 7UWL 711, 5JCP 496, 7ZAX 022. Am I on your way? Go ahead. I think I read this one already. 8WHH 368. Who are you? I don't know you. That's audible activity, and she got directed light that she's touching me with while she's crossing the path. 8WHH368, 75531P2, 7FBT094, 17840J2, 4ZTN885, 6WFJ958. And 17840J2 is monitoring with the baby, okay? So understand what they're doing while they're monitoring and doing it with the baby. 6YVA329. $53109Y2, directed light behind that vehicle on the asphalt. All right, that's the mark of demon possession. 5XXP439. 8LFR, I read that one. 7D82196, 7YFR053, 7KKN991, 7GBX104, 8HJF074, 8S64115, 8SJE804, I think I read that one. 5HAP358. I believe I read these when we were coming out of the parking lot. 6GFH157, an operation of a communication device and directed light. 7XAR215, 8SMY316, DREMEN. She's dreaming. She's dreaming all right. Operation of a communication device and directed light. 5NGM64L79589E1. She's dreaming all right. 8P34047. Let's see. 7NUH975. It's 9:28 a.m. 5 U.S.C. 020. All right, it is 9:29 a.m. and I want to show you the fake sun that's remaining over the Vons because I'm remaining here. This is, again, the ongoing pattern of maintaining the light source, because that's not the sun, that is over me, and this is coupled with directed light, 8BPE860, and this is speaking to the sex offender that I documented again, that I'm documenting right now as I continue to document more license plates, including Ryder, who was stalking with peculiarized light in the parking lot under the fake sun. All right, and that's driven by what looks to be some... Oh, no, that's somebody else. That's United States Postal Service, it looks like. He's crossing path using his communication device and engineer light, where United States Postal Service is actually stalking in the path at 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid, where the fake sun is clearly over that 7-Eleven, not over Vons, okay? Alrighty. Documenting USPS crossing path in that same directed light.
Alrighty, let me get this on my podcast. I captured video making a good example out of the demon-possessed maintaining different flags on his vehicle. Doesn't mean anything. It creates visible activity actually in the fake sun and in directed light. And that license plate is 55591J2. 8BTV140 and 8RVK195 is monitoring with him. Capturing what is U.S.PS, and that's identified by the outfit that state actor is wearing. Crossing path, that was a demon that paced back and forth from the entrance to back to the vehicle while maintaining peculiarized light, while I'm documenting on video, directed light, while demons are patrolling around me in the parking lot. And the USPS is an operation of a communication device in directed light. This is federal stalking conduct, period. And you have what is use of writer, that is exposing also that third party, who also, writer is always engaging in the P.O.C. So, like I said, that's intentional conduct also with knowledge that I document the entity. This is the kind of conduct that they engage in. It doesn't matter what vehicle you drive. You can drive whatever you want because you're going to be exposing that company. This is going to disincentivize many methods employed. All right, because while you're in some other state and you find out that you're being federally prosecuted for what one of your employees or whoever has exposed you to, because you're not avoiding prosecution, 7GBL 575, when you're monitoring with the government, you're going to take it up with whoever it is that you put in a position to expose you to that. Be careful of who you're hiring, especially the demon-possessed psychopaths. All right, be wary of that. 7HTB 075 53109Y2. What they're engaging in criminal activity, wearing your commercial logos, commercial vehicles. But let me be clear, they're not ignorant of that. All right, this is just prosecuting every method employed and the ways in which that you will be prosecuted for those methods employed, including using minions, minor children, 8UJJ233. It is 9:36 a.m. and what I'm showing in the video is the absence of the state's fake sun over 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, where it is remaining at this time, where I'm showing you Upland Police are pacing in a parking lot in relevant position under directed light under the fake sun. All right, and where third parties such as Pepsi, Ryder, United States Postal Service, where I'm showing you at this time the state is keeping its fake sun, not only in Ontario, that's impossible, but I'm documenting Upland right now. And you have what is, I'm also in Fontana, I've documented this before at the same time. This is the state keeping its fake sun over me, stalking with light, while you're also looking at what is directed light, not sunlight, while they're driving by. It has absolutely nothing to do with that light activity. These are demons. Engaging in the P.O.C. And these same demons were stalking in the bathroom stall yet again with knowledge of your documentation, all right? They are monitoring everything that you publish. And ongoing conduct is not speaking to the ignorance of your documentation. It's speaking to a violent sex offender to be prosecuted. Every commercial actor, every government actor, and every third party acting in their individual capacity, stalking in that bathroom stall. Engaging in terrorism in that bathroom stall. While you want to talk about inventory and flashing directed light. All right, it doesn't get any more demented than that, and that's Vaughn's, not a family store, okay? Sexual, violent psychopaths that are stalking with a government, where, by the way, the state is hovering over that venue in airplanes, all right? License 6AGN246. GKE 643, APVT 2. I want to say it's 727, 6588 7V2, 7572. I can't see that one. 31 PROVB. Hilarious. Here's a proverb for you: don't get documented stalking with the government. SKIKI 8 RFC 183. Omnitrans, you already know, 14750. I can't really see that one, but you've already seen the directed light that they routinely molest with and assault with, occurring again at the intersection of Foothill and Euclid Avenue at 9:39 a.m. That is speaking to the demon possession of that entire company. While I'm speaking to what is demonic activity demon possession of the state. I'm revealing the criminal conduct that the California is engaging in. But let me be clear, as you break it down, you're talking about the randomness of the vehicles of Omnitrans that I'm documenting, and they're all engaging in that same impossible conduct. That's not a coincidence. It is indeed demon possession that I'm speaking to, and it is indiscriminate. All right? This is demonic activity, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a commercial vehicle, but the Omnitrans, you need to know that about that company. Every single last one. This is a company ran by, employed by, managed by, all right? The demon possessed, 55731D2. And I'm documenting their criminal conduct while they're engaging in that demonic activity, monitoring an American citizen, sexually violating an American citizen, 8KRJ142, 8UKE649, 7XQF563, 8WEN261, 8PDZ397, 8FEN672, 49801C1, and engaging in terrorism. 7XQT249, 8BPF173, 6SCY209, 7XNN573, 8KTV373. It's 9:41 a.m.